G'day guys, this is Powerslide and today we are testing a really cool ID3 Volkswagen, and it's an electric car and it's pretty powerful, so let's do a bit of an acceleration with it. So we're gonna switch the mode up into sport mode and let's do a launch. 200. Gee whiz, that's really fast. And that is a 100 now. Pretty quick. Let's slow down a little and talk about the battery options this car has.
In my opinion, this is the best looking electric car ever made. But I think this car has some R potentials or GTI potentials. What do you think? Should Volkswagen make a GTI version of the ID3 or an R-Line version of the ID3? Let me know.
So there's 3 different power choices you can have in the ID3. The top of the range car is the 204 brake horsepower model, which can do 0 to 100 or 0 to 60 in around 7 seconds. And there's the 150 horsepower one, which can do it in 9 seconds. And there's the 126 horsepower model, which is around 10 or above seconds. So yeah, you can go with the 204 brake horsepower one, and that's gonna be brutal. And it's a proper electric hot hatch this, because it's rear-wheel drive, unbelievably quick. So yeah, I think Volkswagen should make a GTI version of this. That would be unbelievable.
So some of the best parts in the interior are the buttons. So they are also touch sensitive, which is really futuristic, and I like the way they are. And also vibrates when you push your force feedback on your iPhone, let's say. It's the same feeling. So I really like that. It's been a bit controversial for other people or other modern journalists, but for me it's just brilliant. And also it looks like from our last video the engineers have been listening to me, and they did the same, where the gauge cluster or this digital dash moves with the steering wheel, so you don't end up not seeing your speedometer. So brilliant.
So nowadays every electric car has a energy regenerative system, and in this car it's called B mode. So when you lift off the accelerator, it's gently slowing down without having to press the brakes, and in D mode it's just coasting like a normal combustion engine car. I like the system, it's brilliant. So yeah, it's gonna recharge your batteries a bit more.
Another awesome thing in the interior is when you use the sat-nav, you have these ambient lightnings, and when you indicate somewhere you have to turn right, let's say, the ambient lighting shows you the way by moving the lights, which is unbelievable. Other than that, the quality in the interior is reasonably okay. There are some bit harder plastics around the place, but other than that, the interior is awesome. And also a really cool little detail in the car is that on the brake pedal and on the throttle pedal there is a little pause and play button, which is unbelievably cool. I love that. So brilliant interior.
Can you hear that? Exactly, you can hear nothing. There's no rattles in the cabin, there's no vibrating materials, but yeah, it will be interesting to see how they develop the rattles when they get used a bit more, these cars. But yeah, so far with 10,000 kilometers they are spot on.
In comparison to the Golf, the ID3 is 20 millimeters shorter, 20 millimeters more narrow, and also 93 millimeters taller, which is all for the gains in the interior. And the boot is 5 liters more spacious, as you can see, filled up with our camera gear, than the Golf's boot. So this car is brutally practical.
So at the end of the day, this car is a Golf-sized car, and it's really heavy. It's 1,700 kilos. So yeah, but it drives really sporty, really well. It's due to the rear-wheel drive system in this car, which is super fun and sporty to drive. But yeah, it handles great. The steering wheel is direct but not too direct, so yeah, it's a proper little hot hatch car, or it can be a hot hatch with some better suspension and stuff. I would love to see a hot hatch version of this car. So Volkswagen means people's car, and there were two people's cars so far. First the VW Beetle, which was super popular, and then came the Golf, and this planned to be the new popular electric car, the ID3, the third people's car, so that's why it's called the ID3. So this car is extra spacious compared to a combustion engine rear-wheel drive car because there is no gearbox tunnel, so there's plenty of space for the leg, for the back seat, for the front seat as well. There's nothing hitting my knee whilst driving, which can be really irritating, so this car is really spacious in the interior. I love it. The sunroof makes it even more spacious. Wow, what a car this is.
So there has been a bit of a controversy with the window switches, because you have to press another button to engage the rear windows and push them down, so there's only two window switches on the driver's side. But I love the idea. It's cool because every time I want to talk to somebody and I don't look down and I just want to press the window button, I always press the rear windows and I end up looking like an idiot. So that's just cool. You press the rear windows and then pull them down. Brilliant.
It's really rare when I don't find anything bad about some car, and this is the case with this car. However, I find something. This car gets a lot of attention due to its futuristic design, so if you don't like to get attention, that's something you need to consider. But if you like being seen in a beautiful car, then it's awesome because everybody is looking at this car with their jaw dropped. So to be honest, I can only recommend you to buy this car. It's awesome. And finally, for saying goodbye, we're gonna do a bit of a launch. So yeah, let's get it back into sport mode. However, we have individual sport, comfort and eco, but we'll go with the sport mode. And yeah, let's do a launch. This is fast, this is fast. 60, 70, 80, 90 and 100. There we go. Bye guys.